Hey, welcome, 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 Dramaniacs. Alicia Couri here, your red carpet CEO. And I'm here to influence, educate, inspire, and entertain you with audacious confidence. So you can be more, do more, have more, and really live the life that you desire to have. And I am going to now talk to you about Angelika Christie. Because Angelika Christie is such a phenomenal woman. We are friends. We met about 3 years ago when we both spoke at Harvard. We also spoke at West Point together. We developed this really great friendship. I've been her coach. She has been my coach. She has helped me through a lot of different things. She is a wealth of knowledge and information. She has so many amazing programs and products that she shares with everybody. And her specialty is in not just relationships, but also in self-improvement, self-awareness. She is a valuable coach. And I love her, love her, love her. And I want to bring Angelika on so we can talk to her about all the wonderful things about interpersonal relationships. And we're talking about like loving relationships, husband and wife, you know, all those types of relationships. We're going to get into romantic relationships. I think that's the term I was looking for. So romantic relationships we're going to get into. So yes, bring Angelika on, and I welcome you, my love. How are you?
Hello, Alicia. Wonderful. So great to be here with you. And thank you for this opportunity to share a little bit of
your genius, a little bit of your genius. We can just say that. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of Angelika's genius on everybody.
Sprinkle my love dust.
Sprinkle her love dust, yes, on everybody today. So I don't know if you were hearing my preamble.
Yes.
about really the first relationship you need to have when you're talking about confidence is that relationship with yourself. I want you to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into all the romantic stuff.
Yes. Well, the relationship with yourself is so important because you cannot divorce yourself from yourself.
Isn't that the truth? You're stuck with you.
You're stuck with you from until the very end. So it's almost like if your best friends, if you constantly criticize them, because I heard you saying, you know, if you are judgmental about everything and criticize yourself, all the self, it's so destructive. Yes, it is destructive because you feel, oh, that's just, you know, normal, because we do it all the time. We are the most critical and judgmental with ourselves. And
yes.
That's such a shame. If you would do this to your best friend, it wouldn't take a very long time until she would leave or he would leave, right? If you would constantly think about all of the stuff that's going in your head, you may not voice it, but your body receives it because your body also believes everything you say and think. You know, because the thought creates an emotion, it creates a chemistry. So, you know, you cannot say, oh, I didn't mean this, you know. It is, if you think it, you get the feeling and the reaction is in your body, it's reality for you.
Yes.
You know, and this is also why anxiety about the future is so idiotic, you know. Because you're bringing the future into your reality, even though the future hasn't been created yet. Or the other way around, if you think about something that really bothered you or the wounding you received in a relationship in the past, the moment you think about it, you bring it into
the present.
So it becomes a reality for you. So this is where so many of us kind of on this roller coaster.
Yes, and we had a guest this morning that was talking about that on Women Unleashed, that talked about your brain tricks you into thinking that the past and the future are realities when they're not. Now the present is now.
The only reality.
The only reality.
Yes.
The only reality is the present.
Yes. So true. And so the relationship with yourself is really something, it's an ongoing, you can never be finished with that.
That's
Never.
right. As long as you're alive, it has to keep evolving.
Exactly. And it evolves through the different stages in your life. It's very different when you're a kid, you own the world, right? You're not really judgmental. So
That's right.
you are so open, and all of these things that other people say to you make an imprint in you, unfortunately, because if nobody would say anything negative to you, you would not even know what judgmental would be.
Yes, that is so true.
So there is a total, by nature, by the very nature of who we really are, there is no guilt, there is no judgment, there is nothing. There is just joy and exploration and feeling life through
Right.
you.
When you see children, exactly. When you see children and you experience a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old that has no judgment on anything until the parent says no, or until the parent says that's wrong, or until that's when they start forming those judgments. But they have no judgment, self-judgment. They don't do something and then say, oh, I'm such a horrible person.
No.
They don't. They just go along their merry way and they're like, oh, well, I just broke a vase. I keep going until somebody points out to them that is wrong.
So it is the intrinsic innocence that we all have. It's still within us. That intrinsic innocence and openness to believing and knowing that we are intrinsically good, that I am intrinsically good, my partner is intrinsically good, right?
Right.
But, and so we are on this earth in relationship, because everything in your life is about
relationship. Exactly.
With yourself and with others. Right?
Okay. Yes. So I just want to clarify so we're talking, you said your partner is intrinsically good. You're intrinsically good.
Yeah.
Let me just push back on that a little bit on you, because if we're talking about abusive relationships, for instance, if you're in an abusive relationship, believing that your partner is intrinsically good can keep you stuck in that relationship, though.
Not really. Very often the problem is, if you're in an abusive relationship and you believe that you cannot escape, you are trapped in that, then you become the victim of it. But the relationships are very interesting, powerful, dynamic vehicles of really discovering yourself. You cannot really discover yourself without being in a relationship with somebody else. Okay?
Right.
So that
is very true.
That other person will trigger certain things in you, and they can be good or they can be bad. That's how we label them. Even though no emotion is really good or bad. It's just
what the meaning we give to it.
Right. It is just an emotion. And of course, if we take on the emotions, the negative emotions, or that which triggers us, which puts us down, and which, now there is a difference between somebody who is abusive physically and mentally, I mean, really, cutting somebody or trying to destroy somebody. You have the responsibility to remove yourself from that.
Right. Absolutely.
Because the first responsibility is to yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I completely understand. But what I guess I'm getting at is, if you believe that they're intrinsically good,
yes,
then
they may not be like that with somebody else.
Right. But the mind shift I'm trying to get to is, if you believe that they're good, then forgiveness can come easier, but you don't have to stay.
Right. I can
listen,
you, but
I can
do not protect you from the consequence that I'm leaving.
Right. Exactly.
Everything has a consequence, but it's not that now when I leave and now I take all of this garbage and baggage with me, then I have really not gained anything. So
Right.
I need to know that in the core, we are all innocent and we are all good. But if a relationship,
Right.
if abusiveness comes into it,
It came from somewhere else.
it came from certain things are triggered, and sometimes some people love it and they try to figure it out, and but there is a point where you just know, there is a part within yourself that knows when this has come to an end.
That it has to come to an end.
Yes,
Because
and I believe that you don't need to go like an elephant in a porcelain shop, but you can. It has to start within you. You have to love this free. You have to it's almost like you give birth to something. You remove this out of your body, because if you don't, then you're taking it with you wherever you go.
And it can completely destroy your confidence. Completely.
Yes.
If you're in any kind of abusive situation.
You have to take yourself back. You are the only responsibility that you have.
Yes.
Yourself first.
Yourself first.
And this is so misunderstood. There are, especially we women, have all think that we take on all these responsibilities.
Yeah.
They are false responsibilities. It is not my responsibility to make you happy. It is not my responsibility to rescue you. It is not my responsibility to provide whatever you expect of me for you. No, it's not. A relationship, the connection in a relationship is there to discover and for the joy of it. To experience life, to experience yourself, since you cannot experience yourself without having a relationship,
Yeah, and I found in life that exactly what you're saying, that you cannot you cannot grow yourself or really understand yourself outside of relationship, because when you start interacting with other people, that's when who you are starts coming out.
Yeah,
and if you are afraid to express that and explore that, then you kind of lock yourself from really growing.
Yeah. And it's also very, very important that you create a safe container in a relationship. And we want to talk more about relationship between a man and a woman, right?
Yes, we're going to talk about romantic relationships. So I watched you did a quick little live just before we came on air on your walk on the beach. Yes, you did a quick little live, and I was watching that, and you were talking about different types of relationships. So let's dive into that. So
okay, all right. So the problem is that and sometimes women, or when you become a mother and you have more than one child and your children are different, and you said, oh my God, why are they all so different? They should come with their manual, how to handle, right? Because they're all different. Relationships are the same way, I mean, relationships are there to really, you're attracted either emotionally, your chemistry, sexually, or you're looking for something in particular, somebody who can take care of you, somebody who can provide certain things for you, somebody to travel with, so there are alternative motives sometimes when we look for a relationship. But we have expectations, right?
Yeah.
And we have also needs. So unless we are clear about all of that in the beginning, thank God it's not like having a child. You actually can prepare for a relationship. And there's still all these unknowns, in there when it evolves. But you have to be clear. And I don't know why they don't teach that in school, or to keep on.
Right. Yeah. There needs to be some kind of life relationship course somewhere.
It's like building a business. It's very similar.
Yeah. Exactly. So I just want to remind people as I see them jumping on that you are watching Audacious Confidence on Germaniac TV, and we're talking about relationships and confidence with Angelika Christie. I see that Vanessa has joined, and Eleni, hello, say hi to Angelika if you get a chance. And we're talking about relationships and confidence. So we really need to understand and have clarity as to why we are getting into a relationship in the first place.
Yes.
Right? And so I may be jumping ahead like 20 steps, but what happens when you get into a relationship, you were clear, you have clarity in that, but things, shift, or you now have a different priority, or you have a different motives or different goals. What happens there?
Well, it's beautiful when you're in a relationship early on and you can kind of grow together, but it takes a lot of wisdom almost. It takes a lot of allowing the other,
I think, willingness
to be witnessed, to be willing to be witnessed. So not to get into the corner and say, okay, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to do it and whatever. So you need to see how you can adjust to your partner's needs and see what is negotiable and what is non-negotiable. Now, when you say it used to be all great and then it went into into something different, that's usually when it goes into non-negotiables.
Right.
If you don't know that, if you have not established this beforehand, and then just like in the business, you need to revisit it. You need to say, okay, now after all these years or whatever, because you grow, the other person grows. You don't always grow exactly, parallel to each other. So there are all these dynamics. But I think the most important thing, and that's kind of a no-brainer, is communication, right?
Absolutely. Yes. So, that's the number one thing.
Yes.
To keep those lines open.
Right.
Angelika Christie. She is a phenomenal woman, and I'm so thankful to have her here on the show with me today. And we're talking about relationships and confidence. So we left off talking about communication and the importance and the value of communication in a relationship as you grow.
Exactly. And that kind of communication is so misunderstood by so many. Because what usually happens is that somebody tries to bring their point across, right? Mm-hmm. And so they are set in what they want to say to the other person, and both have already in their minds what, very often from the point of the brain, the mind, the hurt, the dissatisfaction,
disappointment,
and all of this aggravation, anger. And so when communication starts within those emotional parameters, under those conditions, it's not going to work, right?
Right.
So what is really, you have to make some kind of agreement. You have to come into agreement with your partner. When I want to talk to you about something, then I want you to listen.
Right.
Just listen. Yes. And then you don't complain. For example, there are two things that you should never say. You always.
And you never. And you never. I want to say, hey, Abigail, thank you so much for joining us. And you're watching us. Thank you for coming over to the Germaniac TV page so that I can see your comments. Thank you. Because that is how we can interact with you, is if you come to the Germaniac.com, Germaniac TV page on Facebook. Welcome from San Diego, California, Abigail. Thank you. So,
so communication. You have to, you must, you always, you never.
Yes, yes,
Are very inflammatory
yes,
snippets that you don't, your partner closes up, because if
yes.
you hear them from your partner, you close your heart, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you,
And-
Eleni. Thank you for coming over to Germaniac TV to post, because we couldn't see your comments before. Thank you. But the thing about communication too is it's really important to leave your ego out of it.
Come from your heart. The communication needs to come through your heart. And that's why it is important to allow somebody to open themselves up and speak to you, and you listen without already in your heart forming your rebuttal, so
Exactly.
that's not what it's about. And it takes a little bit of practice, but you need to communicate with your partner, or you have to make an agreement that that's how you want to communicate if you feel that something is not right,
Yeah.
because otherwise, if you bottle it up or you wait for the right opportunity, and then something just, it's like a pressure cooker, and then yes, wow, now you give it to him. It's so destructive, and it's
Yeah.
unnecessary. So the language is really, really important. There is a language of communication and a language of love, even though you are not in that moment in that feeling of I want to love you, but you want to establish a communication that is that takes you where you want to be, to explore something new, to see how you can respond to him and how we can respond to you. And one thing that is so important and so misunderstood is to be witnessed and to claim your partner. Men want to be claimed.
All right, let's go deeper into that. Explain that.
When the men they have this alpha, right? They have the male energy.
Yes.
And we want to be claimed, right?
Yes. I think women want to be claimed too.
And that's that little bit of male energy, I believe, that we have within us as well. We want to be claimed, we want to be conquered, but then we want to do that as well. Yeah. And men love when they are claimed. When you tell a man, you are mine, I love you, and I want you, I desire you, and become witnessed in that way, become vulnerable and open. That's the most erotic and sexy thing you can do for a man.
All right, then, are you listening, ladies?
Yeah, because like that you maintain your sexual magnetism.
Right.
That's about magnetism, the polarities. Yeah.
All right. So I want to just say, Eleni said the heart is never wrong. So yeah, that's your center of truth. So polarity. All right.
Yeah.
Because I want to really make sure we're bringing it back to confidence. All right.
Yes.
So your confidence in your relationship. So having that language of love, being able to communicate, being able to, because that builds confidence in your relationship that you are together. Right. That builds that confidence, being claimed, being witnessed to. Now, they are not going anywhere. You are not going anywhere because you have made that commitment and that connection with one another. That's where your confidence in your relationship develops.
Yes, and yet very often in relationships we just believe that that should be there, and so we don't need to work on it.
We don't have to work on it anymore. It should just be there. Yeah, and I think that misconception, general misconception.
And I do not like the word work, because there is no work. Relationships should be enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
So it's to work on your relationship. If work feels that this is something you're going to enjoy, then do it. For example, sometimes we just don't feel like it. And yet there's something in the inside that says, oh, if I could shake him out of his non-responsiveness if I just would surprise him with something, give him an unexpected hug or kiss, or do something that he doesn't expect. Because the most destructive thing to a relationship is boredom. Apart from, we are not talking about destructive relationships.
Yeah, we're not talking about toxicity. We're not talking about abusive, toxic relationships.
Now we want to actually, what do we do in order to keep the relationship and keep loving to be in that relationship, keep that magnetism, keep the excitement, the joy, the energy, the newness of it.
Right. Exactly. I believe that. You have to keep growing. You have to keep learning, developing, in that. So Abigail asked a question. She said, it's not her situation, but why do some single women never get married?
Well, with the marrying thing, that's one thing. I mean, you don't really need
to get personal belief. That's a personal belief system.
Yes. But there is absolutely no reason why a female and a male should not have polarity and come together. There is no woman on this earth that would not be attracted to a man in this big choice.
No, we do have a lot of choices out there. So,
but we are also people who send out frequencies.
Right.
Right.
Because even romantic relationships, I just want to say, is not always a man and a woman. Not always. So just don't want to, polarize.
Of course not.
So just don't want to polarize. But I do want to make sure we are talking about romantic relationships.
Yes, right. And yet, in a relationship where two women are very much in love with each other, they have to have polarities, which means one has to have more male energy and the other one needs to have more female energy. Otherwise, it's not going to get the spark.
Yeah, you need the polarity. You need it's energetic.
It's an energetic thing. Yeah.
Right. All right. So I back to Abigail's question. I'm not sure if we finished answering that question. Why do some women never get married? And even though they want a relationship or they want to be married, because I have a lot of friends who want a relationship, but they're never in one, or they never can sustain one. When you consider the blocks, because sometimes people have that belief that they're not even aware of. They're not aware of their blocks. They're not aware. They say they want something, but if they start examining their beliefs about it, or really they're subconscious about it, then they can clear that away, and they can then bring it into their lives.
Very often they cannot do that alone. That's when you need somebody who sees those blind spots, who can receive the energy and give you feedback.
Absolutely. That's why coaching is so important when you're trying to get a breakthrough.
Yes.
Because you cannot see your own blocks. No. You can't see your own blind spots.
Yeah.
And I have a coach that always says...
And you cannot see your own magnificence either. Right?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I have a coach that always says, even the sharpest knife can't carve its own handle. So you cannot always...
That's a good one.
Yeah, you can be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but you cannot carve your own handle. So you need someone on the outside to see your magnificence, see some of your blind spots, and see your blocks. And so since I brought that up, since you brought and we brought it up, let me just talk about some of the things that you have to offer our guests who are watching, dealing with relationships and confidence. You want to share some of that?
Well, of course, I'm a relationship coach amongst all the other stuff that I do.
Well, you are a life coach.
I'm a life coach, but I also specifically, I am certified and
in relationships. License.
heart IQ relationship, yes, which is the relationship that really comes from your heart, right? From your brain, but the brain and the heart together as one. And I'm actually going to offer a course in about a week or so, which is how to prosper in love and relationship. It's for less than what my clients pay me for 1 month. I offer it for an entire year, but it's going to be 15 minutes at a time, unlimited, laser focus. We go into exactly what the issue is, and then we create the steps in order to get to the goal you want to achieve. And boy, this is powerful.
And you also had a download. You had a couple audio downloads that you can download for free.
Yes, I did a special meditation contemplation for a man in a committed relationship for a woman. So if we have any men here, they would like to download that. But also the woman would probably want to know what that sounds like. And then I have the other one is the contemplation and meditation for her if she is in a committed relationship. And I think it's beautiful. It's about 19, 20 minutes meditation that I have. There will be a link that you can download for free. Yes.
So Sebastian is asking if men can get the 15-minute laser coaching too.
Yeah, of course.
It's for all.
I have male clients, yes.
Equal opportunity. She has male clients and female clients. So yes, this is available for men and for women. And we really want to make sure that you are understanding that the goal is to create a beautiful life together.
Yes.
That's the goal. And giving you these tips and these tools in order to help you be successful in your relationship, build your confidence and have confidence not only in yourself, but also confidence in your relationship. And so I want to ask a quick question because you also talked in your little beach time in your walk on the beach about beliefs and how do your core values and core beliefs fit into a relationship?
Yes, I believe it's very, very important before you decide to even have somebody else come into your life. If you want a serious relationship, you need to know your core values. You need to know what is important for you. You know, what is your makeup? What is something that you absolutely need to have? What is something you absolutely cannot tolerate? Non-negotiables, right? And what is it that can be negotiable, where you can open yourself to explore something that maybe you didn't consider yet, right? So, and that's the beauty of a relationship, because you're in a relationship not only to have fun, but to explore yourself and grow, into something bigger and than you are right now, because it's a constant evolvement into something that you don't even know yet what it could be. But there are certain relationships. Some are traditional relationships, and they are very defined, and some are open relationships, and they are very defined, and others are spiritual or evolved relationships. And hopefully, from the traditional, as you grow and if you stay together, it will lead into
spiritual. Right. Yep. That is the goal.
Yes.
So, and she will be back on Audacious Confidence talking about aging and confidence, because you are in your 70s.
Yep.
Ladies, listen, look how beautiful this woman is. So if there's one person I can have talk about aging and confidence, this is the woman I want to come back onto the show to talk to us about aging, confidence, beauty, all of those things because energy and
magnetism,
all of that, because I'll tell you, she has a tremendous story that I want her to be able to share about when she was thinking about retiring and you know, just because she lives right on the beach in the Bahamas. She does not need to work, ladies and gentlemen. And she was considering retirement, but we'll get into that story when you come back on Audacious Confidence, when we talk about aging and confidence, because it takes confidence to keep going.
Reinvent yourself.
Keep reinventing yourself and
Yes.
keep going. I mean, look at Madonna. Look at, you know, there are so many women that continue to evolve and continue every decade to do something and do something great. And so we want to give you those tips. I want to open up, Pandora's box. I want to open it up and let all of it come out.
Yes.
All the secrets come out.
I spill it all out.
She'll share it all out and sprinkle her love dust all over us so that we can continue to be inspired. Thank you, Abigail. Yes, she does.
Sweet, yes.
Continue to be inspired and influenced and learn and educated from this wonderful, wonderful woman that has so much wisdom to share. And I am so honored to call her my friend. I love you. And she's more than just a friend to me. She is family. She's family to me. And so she does not look like she's in her 70s at all. She is phenomenal.
I don't
stand up, Angelika, just for a second. She can stand up and you can see she is just, you know, she goes for her walk. She does these incredible exercises and, you know, she's just strong. She's strong. She's healthy. She's beautiful. So we'll talk about aging and confidence on the next time we have her. So thank you, Angelika. We love you.
Your relationship with yourself is the most important part of your entire life. And to take yourself into the highest possibility of joy is the gift that God has given to you. Your ability to experience love and joy is built in. Nobody else can give that to you or can do it for you. You generate that part yourself.
Yes. So, but thank you so much, Angelika. Thank you. I so appreciate her coming on. And you can also find out about other great shows, great content that we have here on Dramaniac TV. We have a multitude of shows that we're just here to really inspire you, educate you, give you the tools and techniques so that you can really transform your life. And I just want to say, because we just love sharing what we have. And here on Dramaniac TV, what we do is you dream big and we make it happen. So thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next time. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye. Hi, Alicia Couri here. If you enjoyed that episode of the Audacious Confidence Show, check out more on this channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. And if you hit that notification button, you won't miss a single episode.